Yeah. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the deck, you're not bullish enough. Trade it in the size, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Yagobi. OnChain revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah. Nicky's. Yeah. OnChain revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps, then I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, chin. Yeah, send it to the deck. Yeah, sell it through the stack. Order knows the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire crypto ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live in the OnChain Hour, and today we have Bitcoin sitting at 118,872. Look, it took a trip down to 117, bounced back nicely, guys, very nicely. But the big winner is Ethereum. Ethereum is sitting at $3,400, and it is exciting, guys, because you are seeing retail, guys. They are back, and they are searching. They are searching for crypto projects to invest in, guys. This is exactly what we want. This is what we've been waiting for. This is everything that we've worked so hard for leads up to right now, and you need to be excited for this, right? We're not dumping on retail. We want them to come in and start using the products. Right? We want usage. We want crypto to be the next big thing. So stop thinking of retail on people to dump on, because we're not dumping on them. Stop saying it. Stop acting like it's not. They're not here for that. They're here to use the products. Retail like to use gaming. They like to use products. They like to use and play with stuff. Find the nearest person, right? Someone new, and kind of teach them how to come on chain. We want everyone to come on chain. We want eventually everyone to use stablecoins when you go into Walmart, when you're on Amazon. We want crypto to be the next internet, right? And we have an opportunity to do that. But stop saying dumb stuff like dumping on retail. We're not here to do that. We're in the very early stages of a bull run. I mean, we are in the infant stages of a bull run right now. That's going to go all the way potentially until next May. So the retail coming in now, they are a part of us. They are with us in every aspect, in every way, and we need to act that way. And I think a lot of us are. I think a lot of us are maturing in different ways, right? We want to bring people on chain, guys. That is the number one aspect of what we do here on OnChain Revolution. So find the nearest person, message people, say, hey, have you looked into crypto? I'm like, oh, it's too expensive. No. Listen, crypto's coming, to everyone, and teach you how to get stable coins. Base Chain. I don't know if you guys watched that yesterday, but they just put out their app. It's called Baseapp, and it is phenomenal. It's really going to bring a lot of retail in. They have like a social media type thing. We're getting to all that stuff. Really excited, guys. Really excited right now. There's a lot of reasons to be excited. We're going to get into every single one of them. So without further ado, bring our partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Bro, I am hyped, bro. How are you feeling today?
You are hype, man. I'm getting some of that energy coming over here. So yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, great way to start the day. Hopefully this helps our audience and community as well. Get your day started, your little cup of coffee going, your morning kicked off with on-chain revolution. But we're ready to get into it. Exciting times. But I think more than ever, it's a time to get locked in and even more focused, right? Yes, we're in a little tiny bit of euphoria and happiness, but we got a long way to go, in my opinion. And I think right now is the time to lock in.
Lock in, man, 100%. Let's kind of get into today's topic of the day. They blew ETH's floodgates wide open. Alt season is about to explode. So not just ETH though, right? Like yesterday when we were making the title for the show, I was kind of like, yeah, dude, ETH's in. And then I started looking at XRP. And I don't think a lot of people realized what is happening with XRP right now. So ETH, right? ETH definitely one of the reasons why XRP is exploding, because it's kind of giving people that excitement. But XRP is retail, right? I don't see really any businesses or ETFs buying this, right? So look at this. This is the daily chart of XRP. This is the retail chart, in my opinion, that shows you from July 9th till today has just been upward momentum for XRP. But I think it's because ETH is pushing the gates open right now.
Yeah, ETH has definitely started it, right? Everybody was waiting for it. And you and I, you know, people see us for this hour and a half, 2 hours on the show, but you know, we do a lot of work behind the scenes, right? And so a lot of times we're just chilling, kicking it in StreamYard and stuff. And we got to see it kind of live happen. We're like, well, wouldn't that be crazy if like we caught ETH on the first steps of being in this run up? And we were able to do that, which is really cool. But it is just the first step. So, you know, once it gets to another level, you get more confirmation, right? I think right now getting to that $3,500 is cool. But getting to 3,800 is another confirmation I think that altcoins can have, because some of these altcoins are ready. They're primed. You see Fartcoin up 22% today. You know, some of these other coins look like they're just ready to, you know, bust out. And so, yeah, I'm excited for it. XRP right here. I mean, if you look at the daily chart there, I mean, you can't really deny the upward trajectory that it's had. I still think ETH is going to be not necessarily stronger, but it's going to show more strength than it did last year whenever XRP did almost kind of lead the way last time, XRP and Solana of last year, whenever there was an alt run. I do believe that Ethereum has the capability to lead it, but it's going to be tough because when you got XRP like this, and remember, they don't have the ETF, but they got connections in the ETF world, I would say, like the financial markets, the banking sector. That's where they're from. That's where their natural instincts are from. Brad Garlinghouse, all of them. So I'm sure they have a lot of capital to help push this up, and they want their coin to look strong this bull run.
No, 100%. So this is Ethereum and this is XRP. Very similar now. I'm really looking at them. I didn't put them side by side like I am doing right now, but they look very similar. I mean, XRP is a little stronger, but ETH has one thing XRP doesn't, right? It has one thing XRP doesn't, and that's the 10 companies, the top 10 companies right now that are buying it. So this list is freaking strong right now. So this is it. So SharpLink, obviously. So SharpLink holds more than Coinbase. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like, that's wild. Because Coinbase is staking it. They have their own chain, base chain, but they only have 137,000 ETH, while SharpLink has 280,000. Ethereum Foundation only has 241 because SharpLink's been buying from Ethereum Foundation and Coinbase and, you know, every other OTC desk. So SharpLink, man, they're the big reason right now, in my opinion, why you are seeing Ethereum be so strong. And, you know, it doesn't, you know, it definitely helps too that, you know, where is it? BlackRock bought, you know, ETF bought $763 million yesterday worth of ETH.
Yeah.
So the ETF, it's never this high. Never.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever this high.
Largest single day inflow, right? So that's a sign. And there were signs, you know, when they say there were signs whenever before a big event happens, you had, I mean, as we say it every day, but Tom Lee, one of the big guys, said this. Other people as well, SharpLink, you had the Tesseract CEO, you had multiple people come in and say, hey, ETH is the next big move here. And I mean, if you think about it, right, that is typically how it happens. Like the, you know, rotation happens to ETH and then happens into the altcoin market. Last year, you know, it didn't necessarily happen like that, but it wasn't the bull market year. Technically, it was the halving year. But Sol and I think ADA and XRP definitely were the ones that to lead the charge. I do think that ETH will be the one that leads the charge this time. It might be XRP catching up here a little bit, but I think Ethereum does lead the charge.
No, 100%. But there's two different markets of people, right? I feel like the big boys, the SharpLinks, the publicly traded companies, they want a big piece of Tom Lee, like you just mentioned, they want Ethereum to stake it, right? They want to control the chain, they want to have say in the chain, and they want that yield at the same time. Think about what that does, right? XRP, in my opinion, doesn't really have that. I don't even know if you can have governance with the XRP token, but with ETH, you can. And so the big boys, they want ETH. Retail wants XRP, and this is okay. Like, this is really good, right, for all markets, because these two tokens are complete opposites of each other, but at the same time, they could really run together, and they have been. So I'm really excited, dude. I'm really excited for Ethereum right now. Really excited for XRP. I'm really excited for the XRP army. I've never said that before in my life. Like, I've never been bullish.
I'm a witness.
Dude, I hated XRP, but it is just, I've just waken up to, I'm going through TikTok, dude. I'm typing in crypto, XRP video, XRP. Retail is in XRP. And I should have seen that a long time ago. I don't know why I was so blind. Like, I was just blinded by the hate for Brad Garlinghouse and the way they dump tokens on the community. But community doesn't mind. I mean, they buy them up. So
yeah.
Who am I to say that's wrong?
Yeah, and they've been relying on retail for so long because we haven't had regulation, and but I'm curious as what you think once an XRP ETF does come through, because XRP by nature, the way that the leadership thinks and moves and acts and stuff like that, and their plans, I guess if you will, is more geared towards the institutions, but because they didn't have the regulation, and there's this narrative that a single XRP can get to $10,000. We both know that's not true, but look, it can get to 10. That's something that's possible. You know what I mean? So they were able to onboard so many new normies and retail cult. They built like the largest cult, right, in our space. They were able to do that because normies and newbies are very unit biased, right? They're like, okay, I don't want Bitcoin's $100,000. I can't afford it. Even Ethereum, $3,000. Ooh, even one of those, like, I'd have to get a loan out. Maybe I could get a $20,000 loan. But okay, now I can use my savings that I've saved up about $10,000 into a $3.20 coin because I think it's going to go to $1,000 or $10,000, right? So that dream is what got normies into XRP. And look, it's not, I don't think it was a good approach, like morally or anything, but it works. It got them in there, and they're crazies now, right? So, does it get to $10,000? Absolutely not in my mind. Maybe whenever I'm long and gone by 150 years or something like that, but inflation will be so crazy. But going back to your point, retail has driven it up, but now institutions come into the game once their ETF is approved. So that's another component we're not even counting yet.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So right now, XRP surpasses $190 billion market cap, right? So at $15, XRP is a $1 trillion asset. Think about that for a second. Bitcoin is a $2 trillion asset, 2.4, 2.5, right? XRP is 190 million. So 5x at $15, XRP is a $1 trillion asset. And I do think that the ETFs take it. I think once we get an ETF, I think it becomes a $1 trillion asset. But I think that's the top for me. I think $15 is a very, very conservative top for next May. I think it does get there. What do you think? Do you think XRP gets to $15 by next May?
I mean, I think it can. $190 billion market cap. Is that what it would put it at? Oh no, that's what.
Right now, it's just past it. So at $15, it becomes a $1 trillion market cap.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So half a Bitcoin next May. It's going to really depend on how the institutions expedite and like crypto coming into normal society and regulations are done. Now it's just more of market dynamics, right? And how does XRP fit into the market? Because there's going to be a time and point, in my opinion, that like you can't just constantly live off of hype as much anymore. Maybe still a little bit, but not as much as before, because now it's kind of put up or shut up in terms of like, what do you use it for? How's it used? What is it benefiting? Those type of things, right? And I don't know what XRP is going to do. Now they have a lot of capital, they have a lot of connections to create products left and right. They have a really robust grant program for the XRPL. So, and I think they get some sort of equity with that grant program. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but they do pass grants out like candy, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, you know, they could have a lot of, you know, products that exist in commerce and, you know, just our day to day. And if that happens, then I can see this happening.
No, I 1,000,000% agree. I think that, you know, now what they have their EVM chain. I think that was the key reason why I'm bullish on XRP now. I really is. Like the key reason why, because now they're going to be able to use RLUSD, which is their main product from XRP. They're going to be able to use that in an Ethereum based model. And you're going to be able to use it fast. I mean, all the fastest chains, we're talking Sonic, we're talking Base, we're talking all these other chains, they are all using EVM. So now XRP, technically, they could abandon the XRPL and go fully and take all the XRP and put them in the EVM model. I think that will be that would be 100% success. Have a bridge from XRP to XRP EVM and allow everyone to just, hey, I think it's best for you to take your XRP and put it in the EVM type of model, and then XRP becomes Sonic. It becomes, you know, it's already one of the fastest chains in the world. I mean, it's a lot of room to move in EVM for sure. But let's take it back to Ethereum a little bit. SharpLink Gaming adds another 10,850 ETH to its treasury, now holding a total of 307,000 ETH worth $1 billion. So we just mentioned it, you know, that they are buying it up, bro. They are buying it up. This company is every day.
MicroStrategy of Ethereum. We've talked about this pretty much every day on the show, just because they're constantly in the headlines, acquiring more and more and more, right? And so I think that they are leading the pack. I think they're going to be enormously successful. You know, there's multiple intriguing characteristics to ETH, right? In terms of taking an approach to be a mass accumulator, right? And one of them is obviously staking without putting out like too much output, right? It's basically finding a servicer and then staking your ETH, right? And versus something like Bitcoin where you have to mine it and you have to, you know, or you can invest in a mining company and stuff like that. So that's one attractive thing. The other thing is the rotation. It is number 2 in terms of all time. It's considered the silver of our space, right? So SharpLink, I think they definitely made a sharp move, no pun intended there actually, but they made a sharp move early in this game, and now they're just backing that up. They're like, okay, we're doubling down, tripling down, and so I expect them to be a big company in the future.
100%, dude. And you know, they're over 1 billion. I think that it seemed like that was our goal. Definitely seemed like a goal to get over $1 billion. You think about that. So 6% of 1 billion is what? It's $60 million a year, dude.
Yeah, $60
million a year in free Ethereum, paid in Ethereum.
And
Ethereum
that
goes up. Ethereum 10x.
Exactly. That's without the you know, the increase in value, right? So you're talking about kind of right now.
100%. That could be 600 million in a 10x if Ethereum 10x's every year. Insanity. Trump backed World Liberty Financial, bought $10 million worth of ETH. So shout out to World Liberty Financial. They're just moving along there. The US spot Ethereum ETF recorded $726 million inflows. We talked about that already. I did want to hit on the World Liberty stuff. So they did a vote yesterday, and they approved WLFI will now be trading 99.94. I looked at it and it was like 0.06%. Like, who would vote to not approve trading of the token you hold? Like who would say no, we don't want this token to be traded? So I don't know. But what do you think about World Liberty Fi now buying Ethereum yesterday, but also allowing their token now to be traded?
I wonder if there was just a couple of people that sat out unintentionally, maybe, or something, couldn't make the vote, didn't participate, maybe, because I can't imagine.
Well, no, there was nays. There was nays.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what the reasoning was as well. Yeah. So World Liberty Fi, obviously most people that tune into the channel know what that is. It's the kind of Trump organization's, I guess, like organization that's in crypto, right? And it's more of a serious approach to it. You're talking about like an index almost, like, of holdings. You know, it's a very serious project in my opinion. So this is really cool that they, you know, are able to get to that next step, right? And they do have the governance here, obviously, with the voting and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm curious what your thoughts are on WLFI. Do you think that's going to be a very, you know, sought out token? Do you think it's going to not really be very, you know, a hot asset? What are your thoughts?
So bullish, so bullish. I think this is going to be one of the probably the top 20, 30 tokens, because right now, if you wanted to buy WLFI, you had a KYC. Like, you had to full KYC to get this token. Like, there was no other way to get it. So there's a lot of people, a lot of bigger players in the space don't like the KYC. They like to buy their stuff decentralized using a DEX. Now this thing starts trading, right? Obviously, the people who did the pre-sale, they're going to make a lot of money. I mean, this thing's going to 10x right off the gate because of the people that who want to get it, who don't want to KYC. So now you're going to have normal people being able to take a piece of the WLFI. And WLFI, you have to remember what they are. They buy other tokens. So this is an index fund at the end of the day. Index funds are some of the most sought after investments out there because you really can't lose. If you have, let's just say you have Ethereum and then you have like XRP, Ethereum starts to drop for whatever reason, XRP starts to gain momentum. I mean, you're sitting strong. Like there's no reason to dump this thing. And let's just say they get really risky and get into stuff like hype and stuff like that. Potentially, if hype ever does dip, it might be another token flies up. So an index fund is one of the most sought after investments. And I think this one will be I'm going to say top 20 token by the end of the cycle.
Yeah. And I think people are looking for what is the S&P of our space, right? Like, what is that? Because if you zoom out and you bought into S&P 10 years ago, you're sitting really, really nice, right? It's almost kind of like it's like Bitcoin. It was just like a gradual up, right? So technically you just buy Bitcoin, but with the space becoming more adopted and intertwined with society, this could be a little bit more aggressive to the upside during, the rushes up, right? So yeah, I think that we're going to probably see a couple of these, and then there's going to be like the one that people kind of say, this is the most solid index fund that we have. There'll probably be some other offshoots as well of it, but I wonder where they're, whatever product offering they offer, if they're going to offer something similar to that, it could be really, really successful for their organization as a whole.
100%. And you got to remember this one has one thing that no other company or anything has. That's the president of the United States, right? I mean, you got to take that back there, right? I mean, former president of the United States, even in 5 years, right? So it's like, it's one of those things where I just think that's why wouldn't you want to hold what the president holds? He's not going to do anything to hurt his bags. Like, well, we hope not, right?
Yeah. I mean, but I feel like we're kind of going into like unfamiliar territory, right? Because it's not him that oversees all this. I'm sure that he wouldn't know too much about what the inner workings of this, but he has a team that focuses on it. I think that's important because if they're transitioning to their bread and butter, from their bread and butter, which has been real estate, and I'm not saying they're completely getting out of that. I'm sure they will always have a little bit of that, but they made sure they never let that crumble, right? You know what I mean? That was like, if their real estate empire went down, then they would go down. They had little offshoots, Trump stakes, this and that, right? But those are more marketing gimmicks. This is different. If they're transitioning into this and they have a little bit of real estate, and real estate transitions into this as well as digital deeds and stuff like that, assets, I imagine that their team is a very serious team that's looking to dominate.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited for this one, dude. I really am. I'm excited I'm just excited to kind of get out of just being like, the old government had their foot again, like over crypto's neck. And it does feel like, at least the Republicans anyway, at least are okay with crypto being mainstream. So really excited just for this. I mean, just for this to be mainstream and trading. Okay, so OG Bitcoin holder, the guy who had the 80,000 Bitcoin and he moved them on July 4th. He sold 2 billion of the 8 billion last week. He sold that to Galaxy Digital, and now the rumor is going around that it was Adam Back. So potentially, and this is just me kind of speculating, I'm not 100% sure this was Adam Back, but the person now moved 40,000 of these tokens to a new wallet, possibly to sell. So this is a new thing that could be happening, is instead of him sending the wallet just to kind of give the key to the company that's buying these, right? So that could be a way, and then that company transfers them out, so he doesn't have to. But this came out at the second this came out. So Adam Back Bitcoin Standard Treasury BSTR to go public via Cantor backed SPAC with 30,000 Bitcoin. So we do know that he sold 30,000 Bitcoin from his company to this place, and it will make the largest public Bitcoin, the fourth largest public Bitcoin treasury behind Strategy, MetaPlanet, and one, I think it's Jack Mallers organization. And now this one, Adam Back, BSTR, going public. He owns a good portion of this SPAC as well, with this this acquisition of and selling them 30,000 Bitcoin. What do you think about this, though? OG holder, hasn't moved any Bitcoin since 2011 or never, and from those wallets now selling, and then Adam Back potentially being that person.
Yeah, it makes sense whenever someone's moving that much, and if we know that he's looking to do this and make this deal, right? But the SPAC route seems to be a really popular one in the crypto space right now, and even Adam Back's taking this route, right? So again, Bitcoin treasury, this is something that he is getting bullish about. It's like his altcoin is basically, his altcoin market is the Bitcoin treasury market, right? But what happens is when there's no clarity in terms of like movement of Bitcoin, it does scare people, right? So whenever you have the coin telegraphs, you have the coin desks, you have these publications that are saying, oh, an OG Bitcoiner from 2011 is moving this much Bitcoin, then people get a little bit antsy about it, right? So I think that should there be clarity? Should there not be clarity? I don't know. I guess if you don't want to scare the markets, I would say there should be, but
it's all on chain. There's nothing you can do, right?
Yeah.
When you see this stuff happening, there's nothing you can do. I mean, that's the best part about Bitcoin, but this is in reality a good thing. One person have 80,000 Bitcoin and not be a government or an organization, I mean, that's scary all the time. So breaking this down and putting this in other hands is a good thing. It's a really good thing. It gets more holders, it gets more people. This is the best thing to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, it is scaring markets today. That's why you're seeing Bitcoin drop down to 117 earlier, now back at 118. But it does show you the markets aren't scared either. I mean, we're at $118,000. Think about where we were last Thursday. Last Thursday during the show, we were at 109, and now we're at 118. Like, that's 10%.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think a lot of us expected some sort of thrust up, though, in the middle of July. But when it happens and how aggressive it happens, you don't necessarily expect, right? And so we did see that. But because this kind of does move markets, and like you said, it is on chain. The problem is you can't really identify the wallet to the person. You know what I mean? Obviously, if there is a wallet that's labeled, Cantor Fitzgerald did, you get that confirmation, right? But I don't think they're going to make it that easy. And so but again, this wasn't the first time this happened. It happened what about like 4 days ago? I think maybe Monday, right before heading into Monday, it happened, and it did flush the markets a little bit. But again, I think it's just going to be a little like blip. It's going to be a little pit stop, and then I am still in that camp. I know I've been saying this entire time. Look, we're in the middle of July, right? So we said middle of July, late July, early August. Bitcoin ranges, I said, between 115 to 130, and we're still in there. So I feel like no matter what, I'll get that right. But I do think we still have a little bit longer to go. I wouldn't be shocked if we get to 125, 128, maybe 130. If we get anything more than that, cherry on top.
100%. Couldn't agree more. It does feel like we're all waiting for this crypto week to kind of be crypto week. Right now, we are getting fought right now in the House. So the House approved a motion to advance a bundled package containing Genius Act, Clarity Act, and the Anti CBDC State Act by a 215 to 211 vote. So everyone was like cheering it yesterday. Oh, it passed the House. But the motion doesn't itself enact the bills. It simply clears the way for each measure to be debated and voted on individually on the House floor later this week. Speaker Johnson came out and says the Genius Act voting will be scheduled for today. The Clarity Act will be possibly for next week. So all this motion did was separate them, because originally they want to pass them all together in one bill, but now they're going to be 3 separate bills. And this is the only way to get them through. Speaker Johnson said they got to vote on the Genius Act today, which was passed by the Senate last week. So, I mean, they've already argued with this. They added a whole bunch of crap into it. And now they're going to vote on this today. And everyone is pretty clear that this one will pass today, which should give a jolt to markets.
It reminds me of the Big Beautiful Bill situation, right? They literally
Exactly.
pushed it to the last second. And I feel like there's this weird understanding on their side that if you have majority, then you're pretty much going to win. You just have to try like 6 times maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you put in all these like, you know, accommodations, like unlimited amendments. And at that point, I'm like, does that like completely change the bill from like a face value? Of course it does. But they just want to get it passed because there's going to be some certain things in there that, you know, that has to move the space forward. The one thing that I heard that I've researched that they're really struggling with is, I was a little shocked that, you know, the conservative side, the Republicans were voting nay on some of these, but it had more to do with the CBDC, making sure there was strong verbal or verbiage in there that said that, you know, the government can create its own CBDC and take control. And the
You're
Senate
100%
wants
right.
that.
Yeah.
And the Senate
You're
wants
100%
that, right? And yeah. And so we know that the left-leaning people, the Democrats, are wanting CBDC. And it's so funny because, like, you think about it, like the liberal-minded person, not to get into politics too much, but they're more like, okay, free-minded, free spirit, all these things. The conservatives more like, oh, you got to do things this way. You got to have strict boundaries, all this thing. But it actually ends up being like more the opposite. It's kind of like, you know, the left seems more like government. We want government to run things and track things and stuff like that. The conservatives are more like, nah, just like, you know, if we get caught doing something bad, then like punish us or whatever, but you don't have to micromanage us on everything in our life. Now, that's from an outside perspective, but I do think this gets passed through, you know, and once this happens, it really does, I think, turn the key to the ignition in terms of businesses. There are businesses and brands are already preparing right now. They've been preparing actually before this new administration came through. Like, you have PayPal come out with their own stable coin. You have all the, you know, Walmart saying that they're going to come out with their own stable coin, all this stuff happening. But once this goes through, I think execution starts to happen with like legitimate products that, you know, everyday consumers start to be able to use.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're 100% right. Like, I think it was one of them came out and said the reason she voted no on this entire bill was because it didn't say no CBDCs, right? So the Clarity Act is that, right? So it's kind of like that is why they kind of broke it up. They want to get the Genius Act in. It's already been pretty much determined that this is okay. But the Clarity Act, the wording inside needs to be changed a little bit to bring on some of the other Republicans that voted nay on this to kind of vote in there. But I'm 100% down. Like you are like 100% right about this. Seems like the anti-crypto army, they hate crypto because they can't control it. Right. And the leader of the anti-crypto army, Senator Elizabeth Warren, says crypto could blow up the entire U.S. economy. She was saying, she went on TV last night to like 3 different channels, and she was trying to get her point across that, you know, crypto is a way around an IPO. Now with some of these Clarity Acts and stuff like that, companies no longer, like SpaceX, for instance, they don't have to do an IPO. They can create a coin and raise money that way. Right. So they're so afraid that their old system where, you know, if a stock jumps up 10% in a day, they pause it. Right. They're afraid of their old system, their old way of doing things is being pushed out. And it needs to be. We're in a different world now. That, I mean, that's pre-internet days, right? I mean, the way they do stuff is like pre-internet. It's wild. And we're going into a digital area of the world, and everything's digital now. And we need everything to come online. And this is just a part of it. And their old system's going to go away, and this new system's going to develop itself.
Yeah, it's hard for people that have done things a certain way for so long and have had success in their life because of the way of the old system. to change things, and they don't want to give up control, but more than anything, they don't want to give up their easy success that they've had, right?
It's true.
And so I think that's what she's worried about, and her her colleagues are all feeling this. They don't know anything about this industry, you know what I mean? And and so here's the situation about the IPO. Yeah, sure, you can launch a coin and raise money, but it doesn't mean you can constantly commit crime. Put regulations in there to where people are punished when you commit crime. I mean, like Bernie Madoff and people like that, right? I mean, you saw what happened with Sam Bankman-Fried, right? So SBF got in trouble. He got consequences. And the more that you impose those consequences to people committing these crimes, the less that they happen, right? It's just we've been in such a gray area where they're not really paying attention, but they are kind of side-eyeing, but they know what they're doing the entire time, benefiting. They were benefiting off the crypto space, by the way, massively. And now it's more of, okay, if you do something wrong, you're gonna get in trouble for it, but they're gonna lay the rules down and stuff. You can't, same kind of basic stuff that I think any human knows: don't cheat, don't steal, don't do those things, but also some extra kind of regulations as well that come into play. And when companies do things wrong, it's going to be more in the forefront of society, because crypto won't be just this corner of society like it was before. That was like they considered it a casino. It's going to be taken more serious. If you're a big business, you got to do things the right way.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Did I touch on this yet? Search volume for altcoins?
No,
I said it in the beginning of the show. Okay, cool.
You kind of did a little bit, but not in depth.
All right, cool. So this is a chart right now. Interest over time. So as you can see, November, about I want to say about the 12th, right? It's very similar to where we're at right now. We had that huge skyrocket, right? Huge skyrocket in prices and everything. You saw interest kind of peak in early December, and then it was just downhill from there. We are seeing interest right now. It is climbing. These are dailies, right? Every single day has been higher than the next. And what is this? This is searching. People are searching on Google for altcoins, right? And this is really, really a good thing right now, because we do need people to get involved again. We need people to start paying attention. This is really good for a lot of different reasons. But dude, it's fine. I feel like we're finally getting bullish.
Yeah, it's been a long wait, right? And I think everybody deserves this. What's happening right here with these dots leading up. But remember, look how high it got in November and December, right? And those are very correlated with Bitcoin rising up, and then some of these blue chip alts, and then you had some micros, some new tokens really take off in October, November, December-ish, right? So that's just now starting, right? So you can even look at this as possibly like right before that November tick up right there, before the November 3rd, where it ticks up there, and then it goes, maybe we might get that, right? We might get a tick up, excitement, sideways, and then blast off. So just be ready. That's the whole point of today's live stream title, is be ready, because we've been waiting for this for a very long time.
And you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. It's kind of what I always say. But yeah, man. All right, let's kind of get into the crypto fear and greed here. So last week we were at a 58. Yesterday we're at 68. And we're pretty much right there, a little higher than yesterday.
69.
Right there. I should give you a little bit over here, but 70. We're at 70. So what do you think? Do you think we are? I think it's fair. I'm finally going to say that I feel like it is 70. I think 70 is very fair right now.
I think 70 is a good gauge too, though, because if you think about how hard ETH ran the past 3 days, and when we say how hard, it's like, it went from 3,100 to like 34, right? So $300 in the last day and a half, right? Which is pretty significant for Ethereum. As if you've been, yes, we had that rise up from 1,800 to 2,500. I view that a little different than you do, but a gain is a gain, and it had a huge gain in May. I look at it as such a underperforming asset at that price, so I didn't really pay too much attention to that. But now I feel like we're coming into this like new zone, like you said, the search results, all those things. And so for us to be at only 70, that's a good feeling for me. because if we were at like 78, I'd be like, oh gosh, we're probably going to pull back pretty, aggressively here soon because the greed is really pouring over.
Yeah, but you got to remember 2021, we stayed at like 95 and to between 95 and 85 for like 2 months. It was like 2-3 months.
2021 was 2021 though.
It was
crazy year.
No, I agree. All right. Let's kind of get into that Bitcoin price action brought to you guys by Artura.finance. Artura, they're going to be launching on Botonics, guys. Get ready because it's coming. It's very soon. We were messing with the site yesterday. Really excited for Artura to go live, guys, and you should be too because there's a lot of reasons. By using Artura.finance, you're going to be earning points. We all know what points can equal, right? But not just that. So you're using Botonics, and Botonics has already came out, and they said they're going to incentivize the chain by using giving Bitcoin to the people using the chain. So guys, they're going to do an airdrop of Bitcoin on their chain. You're going to want to get that. How do you get that? By using Artura, making low dollars, a low leverage type of trades. You guys are going to get in the leaderboard. Be a part of this, guys. You do not want to miss this. I am doing it every day once they go live, and we're going to be showing you guys on the how to get PUSD. That is the stable coin that you're going to need to use Artura. Guys, we're going to put out a full tutorial when it drops, and you guys are going to want to get involved because you want to get that free Bitcoin, but you also want to get incentivized by Artura, and it's all at Artura.finance.
Yes, sir. Excited about what they're about to drop, guys. And they have an amazing community, too. So head over to their Discord. Get connected there. But before getting to some Bitcoin price action, and we're going to get to all you guys' comments very soon, guys. So thank you for being patient. But help us out a bit on the YouTube side. Smash that like. If you're new, welcome to the channel. We do this every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Sub to the channel so you know when we go live. And then on the X side, guys, let's share the space. Let's get it out there, man. Help us out there. And same thing on the abstract side, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let's jump into some price action. I'm going to go over some, Ethereum as well today. So I'll probably only hit a couple time frames on Bitcoin, but I'll hit on the important ones. So important in my opinion, at least. So the 1 hour chart, we're starting off with, as we always do. So what is happening here? So first, let me kind of get into my sentiment of Bitcoin. I think that Bitcoin has been a little bit choppy, a lot back and forth, ranging from 116.5 all the way to 119. And I think a lot of that has to do with the focus being on Ethereum, the past couple of days, with a couple other headlines with the OG Bitcoiner coming in. So that will crash it. But when it does crash a bit, it does rebound. So Bitcoin is still looking very formidable, very strong. So I wanted to kind of get that out the gate. I'm noticing a little bit of a change in the dominance, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's take a look here. So the hour chart, the MACD looks like the sell pressure is wanting to exhaust here, but this buy pressure looks a bit weak, kind of to have that first MACD candle here. So want to wait for further confirmation for sure, right? You can see here that the stochastics is taking us into overbought territory. Let's take a look at the support and resistance over here on the VRVP. As soon as my computer stops from freezing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. But I think am I frozen though?
No, you are. Yes, you are frozen.
Okay,
your mouse is still good.
Interesting. Okay, so you can see my mouse there?
Yeah, your mouse is fine.
Okay, so I guess I'll talk through this here. This is interesting. But anyhow, you can see here that the stochastics is taking us into this overbought territory. I can't really see, I guess I can pull up this data here. I can show you the numbers here. It looks like the resistance is definitely overpowering the support at the 118, almost 119 level, $119,000 level there. So if we can get past that, that'll be great. I'm going to have to probably reset this because I think let me stop sharing there. Because I think
jump in the roll call. You can handle whatever you need to get to. Okay.
Yep.
All right. It's kind of getting to today's roll call here. So every single day, I like to just go through the roll call. And 2025, we've been tracking this, guys. We've been tracking the first comment of the day every single day. So Webdro, 34th win of the year. You were that first comment today, man. Thank you. Congratulations. Everything. Guys, this is a war now between Lackey Lukey and Webdro. Lackey Lukey has 37 wins. Webdro has his 34th win of the year. Fun game here. So all you got to do to make this list, and I think everyone's trying to make this list, is beat Lackey, beat Webdro, be that first comment of the day on YouTube. It has to be YouTube. That is where we're doing it. But Danny Boy's right there in that second spot. Shout out to Danny Boy. Webdro was right there as well. You guys, man, Danny Boy, Webdro, and Lackey Lukey, man, you guys are always one next to each other. And then Danny says, doing it showed me first, but must have corrected. Oh, congrats, Webdro. Yeah, I don't know, man. Sorry, he said rain day here. Oh, he must have. Okay, so he must have saw himself first. Lackey Luke says, nice guys. Congrats, Webdro. Malam Yuri's here. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo. Shout out to you, my friend. Thoughts on Sonic ecosystem? Very bullish on Sonic. I love Michael Kong, the CEO there, and Andre Kranje is the godfather of DeFi. I think it's going to be one of the top 10 chains, in my opinion. I just think that it is right now it's being kind of pushed down a little bit because of, there's not a lot of usage. Not a lot of people are using DeFi right now. But I think once DeFi comes and people see that, hey, you can do a lot of stuff on Sonic. And I know Andre probably has like 4 projects that he's about to drop over there. So really excited for Sonic. What do you think about Sonic?
Yeah, the Andre and his counterpart, I forgot what the other guy. No, the other guy that was good at the marketing part. The guy that was really good that was on Phantom is I don't even know if he was officially on the team. Maybe not. But anyways, I know that they were able to really get on board a bunch of users, right? And they were innovative in terms of introducing that type of DeFi, those type of protocols and stuff, which was really, really good. So I think that he can pull this off. I don't know how many people he's going to be able to get from last cycle though. That remembers him. That's the problem.
You're thinking of Daniele, right?
There it is.
Yeah. He's the guy
not
from
on the team.
No, he's always just been a builder over there. But yeah,
gotcha.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He has that AI that's they're building over there. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, shout out to Rare Sats. Dom is here. Merlin's Lucky is here. I equals X, man. Every single day, you guys. U3, man. Absolutely awesome. Hydro Sapien is here. Shout out to Hydro Sapien. We got Webdro again. Shout out to Webdro. Chief Axel is here. Lackey Lukey. Abstract. Every single day. Chips and Dip. K99. You guys, back to back every day. So Soshi Nakamoto. Spindrift. It's Veda time. Shout out to you guys, man. Nighthawk UXL. Every single day, man. He said, GM fellas, anyone mint early birds? Did you look into early birds ordinals by any chance?
I haven't. I need to go over to Magic Eden and check out some of these new projects, but I haven't.
Do you think any of the new projects could be successful, or do you think it's the older ones?
Well, Adderall's still floor price. I did glance over there. I think it's at like $400 or something. So I think that that's a pretty decent price. Yeah, and it's in the top volume. So I would say that's successful already.
Yeah, man. Hydro Sapien again. Chota is here. Hydro Sapien says, I need to get my small business tokenized and Web3 ready. Where do I start? Good question. What is your small business? Let us know. We love to, let us know. Stan here says, huge stat, more ETH than Coinbase ETH gamified. Yeah, 100%, dude. Like the fact that gaming company has more ETH than Coinbase, that's crazy to me. Crazy. Because you got to remember, ETH's holding your ETH, right? Like if you have ETH on Coinbase and you're staking it, I mean, it's not just there. It's shocking to me. Hydro Steven said RWA on chain on BTC. Arch is trying to do that. We'll see if Arch can do that. Are RWAs underperforming, or is it too early to conclude? Yeah, way too early. I think RWAs are just, dude, it's very tip of the iceberg. That could come on chain. I think it comes on chain this cycle. Myself says maybe XRP will finally break its all-time high from 8 years ago. The problem is there's so many more coins on the market than there was. Like the amount of unlocked XRP now is absolutely insane compared to what it was, 8 years ago. So that's why it's having such a hard time at breaking token price. But the market cap is all-time high. I think you guys should be excited about that for sure. Stan says, in the channel's opinion, who will be crowned 25 RWA DeFi gaming AI? Thanks. Or gaming. Who will be crowned 25 RWA DeFi gaming? So there's a lot of different things there. RWA, I love Courtyard. I love what they're doing with you know, the NFTs and sports cards and stuff. DeFi, I think Aave and Curve, the OGs, actually make a run for, you know, the top DeFi. I think they expand and they do really cool stuff. Gaming, I don't know. I don't know gaming. And then AI, I think Agent Hustle is probably going to be one of the biggest ones. But what do you think? Who is your favorite RWA, your favorite DeFi, gaming, or AI?
I think there's going to be a product on Bitcoin in Bitcoin's ecosystem for the RWA. It might be further down the line, but and then you know you have Ondo, which it focuses solely on RWA, so they'll probably be a big player. DeFi, it would be nice, I think, if DeFi on Ethereum, you know, came back, like you said, you know, Aave and stuff like that, and you know, it does a lot of volume, but I think a lot of it's gonna be institutional stuff. But we'll see. The fun degen DeFi, I don't know, man. That could be a new chain. It could be like Sui, or it could be something else that like has these, you know, the energy and stuff like that. And then AI, there's about 5 AI that are serious products. You have Banker, you have Hustle, you have what's the other one? It's like XY something. Anyways, there's like 3 to 5 that are serious. Outside of that, and then Tau, of course, Tau's going to have their environment. That's a different sector of AI, by the way, in my opinion. Tau's like, you're talking about like a bunch of startup environments, right? Like there's a lot of these companies are out of Austin or Silicon Valley, so those could actually really thrive 5 years down the line and become like you won't even know you're using them in society or something like that. So.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. What about gaming? Do you have a favorite gaming? I don't really use crypto gaming.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I think that eventually there's going to be a gaming company that comes in, and maybe it's Sonium. Maybe Sonium does something crazy.
Rockstar.
Yeah, Rockstar, Sonium. Sodium kind of got started with at least their brand with their own chain. They have Ethereum layer 2, so could come out of there. Could come out of one of these typical Web 2 gaming company brands. But whatever it is, I have this feeling that it's gonna be people that didn't even know that it was a crypto project. They're just like were so intrigued by playing the game, and they love the game, or they were, you know, and they were just like, oh crap, like you can connect your wallet to this or something like that.
Yeah, and I've always said this, right? It's crypto gaming isn't going to start in crypto. It's going to be one of the bigger, larger gaming sectors, whether that's EA Sports, whether that's Rockstar or Sony, or one of the bigger platforms. They're going to come on chain, and then they're going to be the leaders. It's the problem with crypto gaming is there's no way to stop people from just grinding and making as much money as they possibly can. We've seen that with the shoes, right? Like even me, I was running around my block I bought a pair of those shoes, you know, and then did that. And there's no way to do it without like people being able to take advantage of it and then ruin it because they just keep dumping the token, unless we haven't seen it yet. But I do think Fortnite coming on chain and allowing you to trade your skin and stuff like that, to say you have a skin that'll never be sold ever again. Like for me, my son wanted a Spider-Man skin, and for the longest time, I couldn't get him a Spider-Man skin. I would have paid whatever. I paid $100 for it if someone would have let me. But there was no opportunity to do that. So I just waited, and eventually they had the Spider-Man skin event came available again. But what if they say, hey, all the old skins will never be available. If you want them, you have to buy them off users. And now you have an economy. Right, it's a game on chain potentially with these become NFTs, so it's going to come from that sector. But moving along here, myself says watch it get rejected at 340. He's talking about XRP.
Yeah,
where is XRP right now?
It's like, was it like 325 or something like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 325 exactly. 325. Yeah, I mean it could get rejected right now. It got rejected at 330, which is $1 from where it started moving. At 230, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's still looking strong though. How's ETH doing right now? Yeah, everything's looking really strong right now. Really strong. No is here. Shout the no. Stan says, is Vitalik Russian or American? If Russian, why hasn't Putin gone? So he's actually Canadian.
Canadian Russian.
Yeah. His family's from Russia. I think are they Ukrainian or Russian?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah. I thought they were Ukrainian, but they could be Russian. Yeah, so he's actually Canadian. He's born and raised in Canada, stuff like that. So Stan says, once crypto gets the green light for full engagement in the U.S., does the channel foresee any restrictions under a new unwilling administration to set crypto back? So there is a problem that I do see. I do see that Mr. Elon Musk is going to split the party into two, which is going to allow, in my opinion, the 2028 election to kind of go the other way. Hopefully, by that point, crypto has made its impact and is irreversible. But I do see it because of Elon Musk, it's going to go the other way.
Well, so that's exactly my thoughts, is that they got to do as much as they can and right now, like in 2025, to establish it with clarity, with integration with society, to the point to where there's no turning back. Because if it's not there, then there is a possibility of what you're saying, Stan, and that would be the worst case scenario, because now, you know, you did all that for nothing.
Yeah, 100%. But there's a lot of time, right? We've got 3.5 years. I mean, you got to think Trump's been in president since January 20th, and we already have like 4 or 5 crypto bills already passed, right? We already have crypto mainstream. We have Bitcoin sitting at 120,000. What happens when Bitcoin's sitting at, like, 5 years from now, over $1 million, right? I think we can all agree 5 years from now, Bitcoin's going to be over $1 million. So I just think it's going to be too big to stop at that point. So Tim Baker says, rate cut on the 30th. Let's make some money on Polymarket. Dude, not gonna lie to you, I'm thinking about putting on $100. That is
$100. What would that give you?
If he cuts rates, that's $1,000.
Okay, I'll play along.
$1,300 on $100 bet.
Yeah. I mean, why not, right?
Like, I mean, if you lose, you lose $100. But if you win, you win $1,300.
Exactly.
So
yeah. We should just do it. We should do it live.
Well, the problem is that you have to. Do you have the KYC?
I think they might be making people now, just because they're probably preparing for the U.S. market. So,
yep. Cash Cats is here with the dog coffee and the donuts and the dog go to the moon. Shout out to Cash Cats, our guy, man. Appreciate you popping in here with that every single day, brother. Toast, shout out to Toast, man. We talked to you last night. Amazing trader, guys. We're going to put out his video this weekend. Check out that Toast video. Really amazing person. Cash Cats is here. He said, well, I already said him, but he said retail is coming. My family's asking about Doge and XRP. Wow. Cash Cats family is talking about Doge and XRP.
Yeah.
Justin Gearox is here. Shout out to you, my friend. The dog being manipulated. I don't know. I hear Gate.io is manipulating it. I don't know. Retail isn't here yet, right?
I mean, that's the thing with Dog and Justin, is that Dog is very much like how Doge was. But Doge was successful because there was a ton of retail. You got to remember, it was kind of followed up, or it was the follow-up post to GameStop, I believe. So GameStop happened. It was like the revolt against, like, the institutions that have these dark pools and able to manipulate trading and stuff like that, so that you could never win. And so they all got together. You guys know the GameStop story, and that trickled over to kind of just out this meme culture that started actually in TradFi, and then trickled over to Doge. And when you have something like Doge, you've got to have retail. You have to have retail, and retail was present during Doge, and that just continued to push and push and push. So the one thing that Dog does have for it right now is the social and the community and how viral it gets. Now, will they get fatigued? That's the question. Because if they don't, then I think that there's a potential Doge part 2 kind of situation with Dog go to the moon. Right now, you're not seeing retail here. You're seeing crypto Twitter, people like us, and there's now barely more and more people are searching. So that energy that Dog had a month ago, 2 weeks ago, they need to continue that right now more than ever, because you see the Google searches going up. Manipulation, maybe that's happening. Can you stop it? No, if it is. But one thing that can stop it is a constant buy pressure that is just overwhelming, to the point to where the market cap takes the control of its own destiny, right? And so that's the situation, in my opinion, about Dog go to the moon. There's support there, all those things, but that retail has to come to join the community.
100%. I couldn't agree more. We definitely need a retail push. Now it's on Kraken, but it's coming, right? It's coming. So I just think you just got to be patient. It'll be the #1 meme coin on Bitcoin forever. I don't think that nothing's going to catch it at this point. So we'll see. We'll see. Justin said, I never heard you talk so positively about XRP. They just impressed me recently with the partnership with the oldest bank in the US, which was the Alexander Hamilton Bank, was BNY
MY,
Mellon, BNY
yeah.
Mellon. Yeah, so that was huge for me. That was really eye-opening. And then being an EVM chain now, they have the XRP EVM. And I think XRP is the gas token for that, right? So I just think there's definitely opportunity now for XRP to grow that I didn't see this time last year, right? Or this time 6 months ago. So Alpha Gamer says, yo, what's up, guys? Early birds minute out on Ordinal Genesis and watching to see how it performs on secondary and the first BRC 2.0 project.
That's right.
That's right. 2.0 project.
I remember that now. At first, I was like, early birds. Yeah, it's the first Ordinal project with the BRC 2.0 protocol, which I guess that's a good sign that they were able to release an asset within the asset class of the Meta Protocol BRC 2.0. But let's see the token standard and the AMM and stuff like that. But cool that they have the first project out there. And shout out to Alpha Gamer. We'll be probably talking to you here in about an hour and a half or something like that in the spaces.
Yeah, 3 hours.
3 hours.
So,
yeah.
Cash Cat says Ripple owns 40% of the total XRP. Yeah, so I used to think about this too, but Arbitrum owns 30% of the ARB token. Optimism owns 30% of the OP token. Coinbase, they're trying to get like 15-20% of the Ethereum, right? So it's like at the same time, I do agree with you. I used to be so big on this, but it's someone like Jake Gallen actually talked to us about like what they did with Hustle and basically said like you need as the owner of this project, you need a good portion of the token. It one keeps you bullish on number go up. It two, it allows you to potentially bring in investors. You got to remember, Ripple token now it's a chain now. I mean, it's always been a chain, but now it's an EVM chain, and they're going to be able to add yield and potentially maybe some unlockings. What they do, maybe they give it away and incentivize the chain, right? There's a lot of opportunity there. So I don't think this used to be a big deal. I think it used to be for me because they just dump it, but now it's kind of like they can do a lot of stuff with this token to incentivize their EVM chain, right?
Yeah, so they haven't changed their main XRPL, right? So that is there, right? And then the EVM is like a chain that they're kind of using to scale. Is that what it is?
The rumor has it in the next 5 years they want to take everything from XRPL and everything from XRP and move everything over.
Interesting. I wonder why is their tech stack just not good?
Yeah, so they were using a Rust-based model. There's not a lot of developers. Developers are telling them like, hey, if you guys hear Curve is talking about building on XRP, EVM, you got Aave saying, hey, we'll build over. You have a lot of builders from Ethereum that could bring a lot of value to your chain if you were an EVM model. So why not, right?
Yeah. So look, that by the way, to me, it's another example that proves if you have strong marketing, which they did that kind of like organically and inorganically by paying some of these people too, but they did it for so many years that it worked. And you just have somebody that you have good networking skills that you can thrive in this industry, because if they abandon their tech stack, then like their tech stack was just like the whole conversations about that was just it was nothing.
Well, they tried, they tried to get it up working.
But again, it comes down to like really smart marketing, and obviously you eventually you're going to have some sort of product offering. They're going to be able to put that together. They've been in the financial industry for so long. But if they do this, dude, that just shows like also how strong. I know there's a lot of Bitcoin ecosystem people in here, not necessarily maxis, but Bitcoin ecosystem. And you're probably going to hate me saying this, but it shows like how strong the EVM tech stack is. right?
Yeah.
In terms of like just, you know, being easy to develop on. You know, so there's such a big network now, like in terms of how many participants, right? I'm still thinking that the Bitcoin ecosystem is going to be the sleeper of this cycle. You know, there's so many people investing there, but you can't deny the usage and you know, adoption that EVM has had.
Yeah, 100%. And this is more about XRP. It's like, all right, people aren't coming to us to build. You know, stable coins don't want to release on XRPL for safety reasons, right? So let's just pivot. And pivots isn't okay. Companies pivot all the time. I mean, Amazon was a book company. Now they're the everything company, right? So it's like it's okay to pivot. And I think this is why I'm bullish on XRP. XRP EVM is the only reason why I'm bullish on the XRP token. The only reason. And okay, not the only reason, but the BNY Melon as well. But yeah. So Cash Cat says gaming, check out guns. Yeah, I'll take a look. I'll put it on my list. Alpha Gamer says, by the way, since you're speaking about Tau, they have a treasury company in stocks called TAOX. Interesting. Definitely would check that out. Alpha Gamer said, seems like these stocks are all jumping on the treasury company narrative to get more attention. I didn't even know that Tau had one. That's huge. Oh, my bad. Had a sneeze there. Ryan Boland says, come on, pump it up. We need to pump it up. Come on, pump it up. I got 30 trillion mini Bitcoin for President Trump to pay off the U.S. debt. What's up, Crypto Nation? I got your back. I'm like, yo, I love this guy. Awesome. Dog with gold teeth. He says, dog in the pool. I guess you have a bunch of dog. Dog, go to the moon. Us game. You can get Google Play Store. Love it. BNY Melon. He says, becoming their own bank. Man, lots of comments from Ryan here. FOMO starting to set in. Food for thought. There's only 21 million Bitcoin on Sol. What? All right, man. What's up, Crypto Nation? My man is just coming hard today. World's largest Bitcoin run. EVM side chain. They say side chain until it's a main chain. You say it's your side chick until it's your main chick, right? Ripple has already applied for a U.S. banking license. Once they get stablecoin, I don't think XRP stays relevant or an IPO. XRP EVM, dude, is going to be big, especially with their stablecoin. I'm sorry. Leo says, hi, Shizzy. Do you have any idea why OKX removed Atomical's market? It's because it's horrible. Atomicals was abandoned by the leadership. There's no volume. There's no reason. You got to remember, it costs money to keep these things alive, whether it's indexers and stuff like that. So the Atomicals indexer could have went down. A lot of different reasons, but to my main point here is just one thing good about Atomicals, it's Satoshis. So you can still get some value out of them. Sell the Satoshis, to send them to Coinbase, just get the Satoshis, get the money out of that, and be done with that. Right? Atomicals can't come back at this point, can they?
Man, I don't know. It would take a lot. It would take a ton. I still have like 3 toothies. Like sats that back those are so they're not like the tokens. The tokens are more like 1-to-1 or like they try to get it close to that. So I'm gonna hold on to those just for keepsake, I guess. Whatever. Maybe one day we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be too hard in my opinion. Could it happen? Obviously, like anything could come back, but the percentages are very, 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 very low.
Yeah, and we found out the head guy there is building something on Ethereum, right? I think I forget told us that. Yeah, somebody we talked to said that he's building over there. Link, AVAX, Git, Ondo, XRP, XRPL. Yeah, so you have a lot of holdings there, Ryan. As new as all this is, they should team up and work together. There's plenty to go around. Just makes for a better, stronger market for all instead of trying to be at odds with each other. Yeah, 100%, dude. A revolution underway. It's an on-chain revolution, man. Bring everyone on-chain. But that is your roll call for today. Appreciate all the comments, guys. The comments are absolutely amazing. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Toast, Cash, Tim, everybody. No, Hydro Sapien, guys. Really appreciate the comments. And please keep them coming. They keep us from going insane. I feel like there's actual people here. So shout out to you guys, man. Thank you all for making that. But let's head back to the Bitcoin price session.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Appreciate you guys being patient. I don't know what happened there, but let's take a look here. Some things have changed a little bit, not too much. You can see we did exhaust the sell pressure. We're in the buy pressure on the MACD for Bitcoin. We're still hanging around 118,800 though, right? So this is the hour chart, right? So this is. Let me see if I can. Hopefully this doesn't mess it up here, but anyways, zoomed in here. So what am I thinking possibly for the next 2, 4, 6 hours? You know, I actually feel like that Bitcoin movement from the OG Wells thing is still going to linger a little bit. I don't expect necessarily like the dump that we had the first time, but I do think we range, especially with Ethereum also kind of having the momentum as well. People are kind of waiting for alts to kind of take off as well. So I wouldn't be shocked if we kind of range between 18.5 and 19, low 19,000, 119,000, right? So that's for the next 4 to 6 hours is what I'm thinking. The 4-hour chart is looking a little bit better than the 1 hour. So if we can get a little bit of bullish push, then maybe I'm wrong and maybe we get aggressive and get back to 120, right? Because you can see right here, but the 4-hour chart gives us a little bit more of a forecast. 2 to 3 days is what it typically does. But again, heading into the weekend, not too confident with that. It's more, you know, Saturday, maybe Sunday evening, something more aggressive happens. But we got about 13 days left of this month, and I do expect there to be one last push. And if it goes into the first week of August, that's fine as well. We'll see if it's going to finish July or August, but that's what I got for the 4-hour. If we can get some aggressive push on the 1 hour, then maybe we have an aggressive or a more bullish second half of today. Maybe start to tomorrow morning. All right, let's take a look at, I want to look at the ETH versus Bitcoin chart, because this is something that we've all been kind of paying attention to. So this is the hour chart for ETH versus Bitcoin. And I know that you like to look at the daily a lot, and we'll go to that in a second. But this is really the first kind of leg down that we're seeing ETH versus Bitcoin since this is kind of taken off here. So we're looking at Wednesday, which was yesterday. So not too long ago, right? But the aggressive push up happened. We didn't really see kind of like a leg down starting up until, you know, early this morning. So I'm going to be very curious to see how Ethereum reacts today. You know, again, there was some pretty good positive gains. Ethereum gained by, I think, like almost 10% or right at 10%. And so this pullback isn't that surprising to me, but I also think it's going to be a weaker pullback. I don't think we, you know, like start to bleed to like 3,200 or 3,150. I don't think that. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, we'll see if this continues down. I mean, the sell pressure or like the downwards pressure for the ETH Bitcoin chart is, you know, kind of strong. You can see the MACD indicator here. But again, Ethereum has shown, even whenever it's been kind of a sell-off, it hasn't been too aggressive since it's made its aggressive run up. So I think we're okay still, but don't be shocked if we get to 3,300, maybe even like high 3,200. Don't be shocked. I wouldn't be alarmed. I think we're still inching our way, and then eventually be aggressive to 4,000, and then we'll see what happens there. That level at 4,000 is going to be very important to see. Okay, is this just a short window for Ethereum and alts? Because if it stops at 4,000 and then it starts to pull back, then yes, it was a short window. If it continues on and it actually starts to try to test that new all-time high to try to get to 5,000, then we're talking about something different. All right, let's take a look here at dominant. So something to kind of follow that up with is the Bitcoin dominant. So we've seen it. Let me pull up the daily here so we can kind of see how impactful it's been. So, you know, look, this has been straight down. You can see starting here, there's been one green candle. So the 5th of July, it's been red daily candle after red daily candle, except for the 12th, right? So obviously there's a mission here, right? So the 4th of July is when it started, and then, you know, finished here with that one in the middle on the 12th. So there's a mission, in my opinion, and that is to get, you know, Ethereum and some of these alts really going here, right? But when I look at the when I go back to the hour chart, you know, obviously that's very short term, so it's something that I'm not too worried about, but I am seeing a little bit of some momentum loss here. Not anything crazy. So if this starts to tick up here, let's say, you know, we get past this level right here, which is 63.19. I'll start to kind of side eye it a little bit more, but not necessarily even expecting that to happen. But if it does, not too worried. I think if we you know, go back above this level though, 63.87, then we're kind of knocking on the door of 64%, which I think would not be great. But again, this level right here, the 63.18, I think that's okay if we get there, but I do think we need to bounce back down at that point. And that could happen with Ethereum selling off a little bit. And as you see here, on the hour chart, Ethereum is selling down a little bit. We're at 34.09, nothing to worry about. Again, I mentioned that, you know, you can see the sell pressure on the hour chart. So next 2, 4, 6 hours, maybe we get into 33, high 33s, mid 33s. Everything's okay, guys. Don't freak out because of that. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to kind of take a look at. Let's take a look at the crypto bubbles here. Crypto bubbles is on the daily.
Altcoin.
Where's everything at, man? Where's everything at? They ain't showing up to work. Yeah, Fartcoin, man.
It's loading up.
I will tell you what, man. Fartcoin has been very strong, very strong. You know, yesterday I actually got into a trade with Fartcoin because it was down. I want to say it was down like 6-7% at the start of yesterday, and you had Pengu running the day before that, and I think Pump had that fake run up because they injected all that fee money into it. So I said, okay, Fartcoin's down 6%. I'm taking this. And it ran up, you know, like I didn't stay in for the 20% gain. I stayed in for about the 11 to 12% gain. But man, I'll tell you what, this is a fun coin to trade, man. It's really fun. But taking a look here at the daily crypto bubble, you can see the top 100 is what we're looking at. Fartcoin up 20.2%. Floki up 23.4%. Man, Floki's been in the, you know, gaining recently, and it's just a token that I was just never attracted to because of the taxation. But hey, it's doing well the past couple weeks. Pengu is pulled back 8.7%, and you can really see it on the charts. And when you know, if you're a trader, it has taken a hit the past couple days, 2-3 days, but that's after running up, I want to say about 11%. Hyperliquid, this is one that I'm a little shocked that has pulled back to 2.1 whenever Ethereum was like thriving. Yeah, it had a ride up, but it wasn't like as aggressive as I expected, because Hyperliquid's token's been pretty strong.
It feels like when like the market crashes, Hyperliquid skyrockets because of liquidations. But when the market's like bullish, it feels like Hyperliquid kind of goes backwards. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, which is kind of cool if you're a long-term holder, because then it makes you feel good whenever everything's like dead, but then like not good whenever everything's running and it's not running yet. But I think it'll have its time to run aggressively. You can see Ethereum has pulled back some, so it's only showing its 5.2% gain there. Pancake Swap up 5.6%. Ondo, we talked about Ondo being one of the leaders for RWA, as they have an entire chain that's going to be dedicated towards it. They're up 7.6%. Near Protocol up 3.8%. Caspa up 3.7%. What else we got here?
Man. 19.4. So yesterday we had CVX, which is a convex finance. Today we have CRVE, which is curve finance. DeFi is coming back, guys. It's coming back. DeFi is another ultimate sign of retail coming back. Retail loves the decentralized finance, earning yield on their products, but this also could be institutionalized too. I think Curve, Aave, and MakerDAO are going to be some of the most used by the big financial services, because they can earn yield and, you know, with big money. So I'm really bullish on Ethereum DeFi right now. Curve and Convex are two of the bigger players there.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm in that same. Well, I'm in the boat to where I feel like I wonder how much retail is going to participate in DeFi, or how much is, or at least in the Ethereum blockchain, and how much is going to be institutions. It's going to be an interesting thing to take a look at.
I don't think institutions are using it yet. They're too afraid, in my opinion. They'd rather just go take their Ethereum and lock it on the Ethereum blockchain, right? You're not seeing them yet. I mean, you can earn more yield by depositing in Curve, like double the yield depositing in Curve.
For sure, for sure. All right, let's take a look here. Doge up 4.4%. A Pith, which is an Oracle, up 2% there. Let's take a look. Oh, Sonic right here, up 1.7%. Let's take a look at the top 200 real quick before we wrap this up. Oh, I went to 300. Let me go to 200 here. And if you guys are ever interested, this is just at cryptobubbles.net. So really easy to go straight to that link there. Mog down 9.9%. This is a pretty big meme community there. What else we got here? M, which is meme land, jumped out of the top 100. No shock there. It had too much like huge gain days in a row. I knew it was going to pull back there. It's down 8.9%. Snack is up 8.6%, the largest meme coin on the Cardano blockchain. Doggo to the moon down 5.2%. That is not a good thing, guys. But hey, keep fighting on, dog community. You know, you guys can definitely turn this around. Frax is up 27%. Core, which is a Bitcoin layer 2, up 1.7%. What else do we have? Thor, which is Rune token, up 3% here. What else we got? We got, what was this? Starknet down 3.2%, layer 0 down 2.6%. BSV, but Bitcoin Satoshi's vision is down 4% there, and then Terabo is down 4.8%. Last one here is Kato down 1.1%. XRP, I'll check. XRP came into that chat. Let's take a look here. XRP is on the day up 8.9%.
Yeah.
I know you probably already knew that, but you wanted to show that off there, which is cool because we talked about XRP anyways earlier. But yeah, XRP definitely having a run. Oh, it's right there in the middle. I didn't realize that, but yeah. Again, yeah, myself, you know, perfectly said. It says pullbacks are healthy in a bull market. Absolutely, man. Nothing forever goes only up, except for when you zoom out, and that's Bitcoin.
Yeah,
but yeah,
100%. All right. Let's get into the next thing here. So Coinbase has evolved. The Baseapp is your new on-chain home to post, earn, trade, chat. So if you do have the Coinbase wallet, you do notice that it had an upgrade. It is now called the Baseapp. And in this app, here's the key takeaways from yesterday's A New Day 1 live stream. I watched it, so you guys don't have to, and took some notes here. Rebrand of the Coinbase wallet is a unified everything app, social feeds, dApp browser, in-app chat, on-chain trading, and payments all in one place. Single sign-on replaces complex wallet setup, your social profile apps assets tied to one base account, flash blocks. So we talked about this. This is part of the upgrade from ETH's recent upgrade. I think what that was called. It had like a weird name. But anyway, this allowed flash blocks and rollout slashes block time 200 milliseconds. So if you use Base before, you've noticed it's fast as hell. Now it's gotten triple the speed now, where it's almost instant transactions using flash blocks. Native USDC payment rails for merchants, like first on is Shopify. So now you can buy anything on Shopify, even the OnChain Revolution store over there. You can buy it now with USDC. You do not have to put your credit card in there. No more giving people your address, none of that stuff. Because when you go to these sites and you use your credit card, you guys got to give your zip code, your card number, everything. Now you guys can use USDC payments using the Base app on Shopify. Absolutely awesome. But like, I'm excited to use it. I'm excited to start using the Base app. It is the ultimate tool now to bring people on chain. They have like a thing called Farcaster. It's kind of like the decentralized Twitter. They have that built in now into the app where you can actually post something and I can buy. Remember that one site that we were using? Like it was like, you know, tokenize everything. Well, they brought that into Farcaster. So now like you post a tweet or you post a post, I can buy your
like
post.
Was it like a social? It was a social thing, right? Yeah.
So it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Brian Armstrong and those guys did a really good job with the presentation yesterday. And on top of that, man, really got me bullish on the Base chain. What about you?
Well, I've been bullish on the Base chain, and I've expected, you know, Coinbase to be really involved with the mainstream adoption, and this is just another example of that, right? This is going to be a big product because I look at the future of Coinbase as being this, you know, big financial institution, right? Whether they end up having like banks that they, you know, create or whatever, going into credit cards. I mean, they announced the Bitcoin credit. I put my name on the list for that sucker, where the rewards is a credit card with the rewards is Bitcoin, which I know that you know, they've had credit cards like that, but whenever I think their percentage was solid. I think it's 6% or something like that.
Yeah.
So this to me is just it's really cool, and it's something that's really just for mainstream adoption, right? It's going to happen, and who would you rather have do it than Base?
100%, couldn't agree more, man. Really excited for this next generation of users to come on chain and potentially start buying assets on chain and doing everything on chain. I want everything to be on chain. I talk about it all the time. I want to pay my mortgage on chain. I want to do everything I do on chain. If I buy something at ShopRite or Acme, I want to do it using my MetaMask or whatever wallet I choose. Baseapp, maybe the Baseapp, right from there. I'm excited for that. But let's move along here. Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan says the bank is working on launching a stablecoin and exploring appropriate timing, likely partnership with others. Rumor has it they're trying to partner with a blockchain to be the number one coin over there, or number one stablecoin on that blockchain. Looking at places like Sui, Aptos, so maybe even Solana to kind of push marketing to make the Bank of America coin the number one stablecoin. What do you think about this? Them strategizing with chains to say, hey, we want you guys to potentially remove USDC from your chain and make Bank of America the go-to stablecoin for that specific chain.
I think it's smart because a lot of these chain founders and operators, they are probably right now getting courted, right? And saying, hey, let's set up a meeting, let's do this. And you see brands in the fintech world, Robinhood partnering with Arbitrum, Base partnering with Optimism, I think, or not Base. Who was it that was with Optimism? That came out. Anyways, multiple brands, right, coming out with these chains. And then like for Bank of America, they're probably trying to rush to say, where do we find our niche? Where do we find our product market fit? And for them, it's we're going to be on these and these chains that will start kind of the viral effect of the Bank of America stablecoin. Then, they'll roll out products, stuff like that. So it's quite funny because I know that financial institutions were more specific banking institution was completely against crypto, but I think they actually have probably the most to benefit from it if they did it right, if they do it right, in terms of financial products, interest, and if you could get more customers actually if the customer feels like they're getting a good deal. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be interesting to see which banks thrive. I know I've said this many times before. I compare this era to the .com era with the media companies. The ones that stepped up, like what Bank of America is doing here, are the ones that survived. The ones that didn't, they faded off and became legacy.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm right there with you. I think this is genius. Could you imagine though if you go to Avalanche and it's the Bank of America stablecoin is the number one stablecoin or something like that, and like you have to they'll maybe give you some type of yield on it and stuff like that. I'm excited, dude. I know people are saying the banks are evil and stuff like that, but they got to come to us. This is Bank of America coming to where we're at. We're not meeting them in the middle. None of that, right? They're saying, hey, could you guys please use our coin? It's a stable coin. And then chains, potentially, we're going to give yield, maybe with the Avalanche token, maybe with the Sui token, maybe with the Aptos, stake Aptos, get some dollars or stuff like that. I'm excited. Because mass adoption is happening right in front of us. And they can't avoid it anymore. They avoided it for 15 years and they can't avoid it anymore.
Yeah, and I kind of get why they didn't want to change anything. I mean, they had their system. They were making billions and billions of dollars. They can still make that or more if they do it correctly, right? But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting 4-6 years to see how society kind of looks at that point, right? So
100%. But that is our show today, guys. We have a interview with the guys from Liquidium coming up in 30 minutes. They'll be pre-recorded, but that'll be out this weekend. Really excited to talk to Robin and that team there. So that look out for that video probably this weekend. But thank all you guys, man. 376 people. We got 120 people on Twitch. Shout out to Twitch. We got Twitch is growing right now. YouTube, man, all 82 you guys, and X 175. But that's not to mention everyone on Rumble, Abstract, Kick that doesn't show up on our live viewers list. But shout out to all you guys, man. Really appreciate you guys checking us out, and check us out tomorrow as well.
Absolutely. The bull run is back. It seems like people are coming back for sure. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Without you guys, we couldn't do this, and we're very thankful for that. But also, without our partners, we couldn't do it. So if you could check them out, we would greatly appreciate it. Sats Terminal is the DEX aggregator of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to swap for runes, alkanes, do it at satsterminal.com. You're going to be able to earn Amber points. What are Amber points? They're an XP system that is going to be able to do give backs to early adopters, right? So you want to accumulate as many of those as possible. You know, all you need is a Bitcoin wallet, one of those that Shizzy's showing right now. Head over to satsterminal.com and learn more there. And then Emblem Vault is the interoperability layer for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to jump your ordinals from Bitcoin layer 1 to Ethereum, and you can actually do that right now with your Taproot Wizards and take a loan out against it on the Gandhi platform, which is the largest borrowing and lend NFT platform on Ethereum. You're going to be able to do that with actual counterparty, rare pepes, and all ordinals, stuff like that. And eventually, you're going to be able to do it on Base Chain, on Solana, Abstract, possibly Merlin Chain as well. So stay tuned to that. And then don't forget, they have an amazing AI agent Hustle product that helps you guide you through the jungles of Solana, right? So you can use Hustle as an assistant. You can, ask him any questions like, give me 2 safe 5x plays on Solana. He'll bring back the information to you, give you reasons why, maybe some reasons to be safe about it and stuff like that. And they just integrated their latest version 3. So you can actually do conditional trades. Hustle can do conditional trades for you. You can be like, hey, buy a fart coin at a 20% drop, sell it at a 200% profit. You can go work out, come back, and possibly that trade will be done depending on if it hits those targets, right? So really exciting stuff there, guys. Go to agenthustle.ai to learn more. And then lastly, they have a Bitcoin rune that's coming out. If you go to OpenSea, you can search Emblem Founder Vaults, and it's a pre-sale right now. It's an NFT. If you purchase one of those, then you will get the Bitcoin rune. That's going to be coming out in October, around that time period. They'll give you instructions as you get closer to there, but you can head over to emblem.vision to really dig into the docs and learn all about the products they offer there. And then Artura.finance, we hit on them for the Bitcoin price action, but this team is very focused and ready to roll out the mainnet version. They are going to be rolling it out with the Botonic Spider Chain, which is a Bitcoin layer 2. Really exciting stuff, man. We heard some stuff yesterday in our meeting with them. Dog is possibly coming a lot sooner than I actually thought. So you're going to be able to trade that. You're going to be able to trade other Bitcoin synthetic tokens as well, possibly Ordi and Sats down the road. But you're going to be able to trade the popular ones like XRP, Tau, Ethereum, and of course, Bitcoin. But if you're not into trading, you don't want to be risky with that, that's okay. You can add liquidity to their vaults and earn passively that way. And by doing any transaction, you're going to earn XP that's going to go towards a future give back as well. And you're going to earn points on their platform as well as the Botonics platform, as the or Botonics chain. They're going to be giving away Bitcoin in terms of usage and stuff like that. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Head over to Artura.finance today. And then Fluid Tokens, UTXO wizard devs of the Bitcoin ecosystem. If you're looking to stake on Bitcoin layer 1, you got to do it at fluidtokens.com. They already had Dog Out of the Moon season 1 and season 2. Season 3 is coming up, and you're going to be able to stake alkanes to earn dog, or stake dog to earn certain alkanes. Alkanes is a meta protocol standard that's becoming more and more popular on the Bitcoin ecosystem, and they have tokens over there as well. So they're going to do something pretty cool with synergy with those 2 token standards. If you are looking to airdrop your community either runes or alkanes, you can go to their airdrop tab there. You can pick runes or alkanes. There's 2 options. You can upload a CSV file or do it manually 1 by 1. Really simple, guys. And then on the Cardano side, if you're looking to participate on the Cardano side, you can participate in their Aquarium platform. Aquarium offers 2 different things. One, you don't have to use ADA for gas. If the way it works is for the people that participate and add liquidity, you can add another token like FLDT, and people can use that for gas, and you earn Babel fees for providing liquidity there. The second part is they have actual scheduled payments. So talk about real world use case. You can actually schedule and pay your Cardano developers on a set schedule automatically. So really cool. Head over to fluidtokens.com, learn all about that team there. And then Tokyo Wallet is the multi-chain smart wallet. They're building for the best UI UX for all their users. Right now, they support Bitcoin, they support Cardano, and they will be supporting Sui very soon. You can swap for Bitcoin runes directly in their app, as they partnered with Sats Terminal to make that possible. And you can also swap for Cardano tokens directly in their app, as they partnered with Dex Hunter to make that possible. So eventually you can kind of see the trend. You'll be able to swap for Sui tokens as well. And they're not going to stop there, guys. They're trying to make this the one-stop shop. So expect other environments and ecosystems there. Head over to Tokyo.io to learn more there. And then Merlin Chain is uniting Bitcoin's strength through the power of AI with their AI wizard. They are at version 0.3. The wizard can guide you through Merlin Chain's ecosystem. And if you ask it any questions, it'll come back with an answer. It can also do DeFi transactions on your behalf, like swap, stake. And speaking of staking, if you would like to participate and help secure the chain with their proof of stake mechanism, there's 3 options. You can actually stake Bitcoin to earn more Bitcoin. And that, to me, is beautiful to be able to do that. And you can earn between 8 and 21% there. The average comes out to be about 16%. And remember, that is locked until September 30th. So if you do stake Bitcoin, you're not going to be able to get out until the 30th. But yeah, that's whenever you can claim your rewards and get your original tokens. And then the other 2 options are with the Merlin Chain token, Merl. The first one is flexible, which is a day-to-day staking mechanism. You earn 15% APR. You can claim your rewards every single day. So you can participate in a compound interest effect that way. Or you can do it. And by the way, it takes 7 days to withdraw the Merl that way. Or you can do a bonding option, which is a 6-month lockup, but you earn 45% APR. And again, you can claim your rewards and do that compound interest if you'd like to there as well. Head over to merlinchain.io. This team is crushing it constantly. New partnerships every single day. And lastly is our partner, Ordinal Hive. You guys are familiar with Fonzie, the founder there. Really cool guy, really cool team. They have an aggregator marketplace for ordinals. So the cheapest ordinals around you will find there at Ordinal Hive. They also have some really cool trading tools to help you kind of have an edge, like live mempool insights. Someone accidentally misprices an ordinal, you can actually grab it real quick and stuff like that. And the one thing that they say that separates them is the speed of getting your Bitcoin when you sell something. You don't have to wait the 10 minutes. They'll put it right in your wallet. So make sure you head over there. And thank you guys so much for checking out our partners. We love each and every one of you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yep. Great job, man. As always. And if you guys have a few more minutes and wouldn't mind checking out onchainrevolution.io, some of the best articles dating all the way back to 2023. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them catch up to where we are today. Every single week we put out an article, so you can go all the way back, guys, and read every single week. What that's going to do, that's going to give you the knowledge like you were there. I mean, every article we have is what is happening in the market at that time. Check out our newest article, how the global M2 money supply surge is fueling. This is why we really think Bitcoin's price is up, why Ethereum's going up, is because they are printing massive amount of money right now, all the countries combined. And so when they print more money, assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that, they have to go up because there's nowhere to put all this money. They're going to put it in hard assets like Ethereum, like Bitcoin, like XRP and stuff like that. Definitely want to be checking that out there, guys. And if you guys need a VPN, I think everyone should have a VPN. It's stupid not to have a VPN. VPNs keep your IP safe. What's your IP? Well, that can lead to your address. I know you guys, when you guys sign up for Amazon or something like that, sign in, it says, hey, this person from me, it says from Philadelphia is signing in. I don't want that. I want that to say Italy or Spain, or I don't want anyone knowing where I'm at, especially when I'm playing with apps and using crypto. So if you're in crypto, you should definitely be masking your IP. And remember, that is nothing illegal about privacy, especially here in the US. You're allowed privacy. You're allowed a VPN. So get one today and use Nord. 70% off coupon. Click it, right? You got to go here, $3.39. If you go to Nord.com, they're going to force you to pay to $11.59. Do not do that. Use our link, guys. Don't be stupid and pay that. Lock it in for 2 years like I did. I paid like $66 or whatever it was. Set it, forget it, done. I don't ever got to worry about it again. And if you do it for 2 years as well, you do lock that price in. If you do it for 3 months, they're going to force you to pay $11. You won't be able to use our coupon anymore. So that's why I lock it in for 2 years. Set it, forget it, done with it. And then head back to OnChain Revolution. We do have all this merch up here. Now you can officially use the Coinbase app and buy stuff with USDC. You can buy all these products on Shopify and you can buy all these products, guys, with USDC. If you're thinking about it, if you're interested, check it all out here. We got hats, jackets, hoodies, and so much more, guys. September's around the corner. Get yourself a brand new hoodie. We got the dog, we got Bitmap, and so much more. We do have, I have a 401kb and some really cool stuff. Just check it all out here at onchainrevolution.io. And remember, guys, we are live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, and until tomorrow.
Peace.
OnChain revolution roll call. Market recap. You're not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain revolution.